You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's from Michian, who says, rant about Monster Girl Quest, lose and get raped, and how it uses sexuality to convey cosmic horror. If you haven't played the game yet, which you should, it's an entertaining story all the way through with an aesthetic you can't find anywhere else, rant about Gankutsuou. Well, I haven't played this game, and probably never will, not because it looks bad. In fact, it looks pretty good. The artwork looks pretty nice. It's interesting that it's a game where you are the hero, a boy who gets raped by monster girls, I guess, if you lose. Although it seemed like just a visual novel. I couldn't tell, going by the videos I saw. Which is different from how it usually is in those games, where you play as a girl, and if you lose, you get raped by monsters. Makes more sense this way, though, because there's more monsters. I'm actually not even sure if this is the same as the one that I did play some of like a decade ago or what. But, I'm sure that how it uses sexuality to convey cosmic horror is probably obvious just from that phrase alone. I feel like you've already said it. I don't know, maybe there's more to it than I know. As for Gankutsuou, it's been like a fucking decade since I saw it, so I can't, actually more than that maybe, it might have been like 2008. So, I can't go too in depth. I mostly remember it being a really exciting, fun thriller that every episode leaves you on the edge of your seat. It takes a few episodes to really pick up. I mean, in the early episodes, you'll be drawn in more by the aesthetic, by some of the characters. I will say that I remember watching episode, I think I tried to show the show to my mom. And, I remember watching episode 2 and just feeling like the visuals were just aged a lot more poorly than I expected. I didn't expect them to have aged particularly well, but I also didn't expect them to have aged so poorly. But nonetheless, I mean, the show is aesthetically very interesting. The animation quality varies heavily depending on the episode from what I remember, but some episodes do look fantastic. It seems, from going by what I've heard of descriptions of the original Count of Monte Cristo book, it seems like Gankutsuou is probably a more interesting version of the story. But it's also set in space in 20,000 years in the future or some crazy shit. So yeah, I really like that it's uses the fact that it's set in the far future to just basically have the aesthetic be able to do anything. Be able to go to crazy places and set the story there. The characters are pretty memorable, particularly the Count of Monte Cristo. But, it was a good thriller show from what I remember. I'd have to watch it again, and I would be down to, because I remember liking it quite a bit. I like the OP and ED. It seems like the kind of show that even if it's not as good as I remember, or if it hasn't aged well in certain ways, it would still be very interesting, just because they did so many weird experimental things with it. So, there you go, ranting about Monster Girl Quest and Gankutsuou in less than 4 minutes.